everybody, thanks for stopping by the Local 5 Weather Lab. Meteorologist Dave Downey here. Today we're going to talk about ice jams. We are exiting winter and slowly beginning the start of spring. The first few days this week are certainly going to feel like spring, but then next week the extended forecast looks like, we're back to a winter pattern. And that means we could be talking about ice jams. So what are they? I mean, they could be a problem in the winter months. Look what happened up near Humboldt with the Des Moines River. This is back in the spring of 2019. You see how that ice breaks apart? It leads to the water basically not being able to get around that broken ice. So let's say there's a blockage right here. There's nowhere for the water to go. So we have a nice little graphic here that explains what happens. So when you start entering the spring months, March, maybe even April, the icy waters, or the icy rivers, I should say, start breaking apart. But then in the narrow corridors in these rivers, they can kind of, back up, if you will. So as the ice flow pushes downstream there's nowhere for it to go because there's a bit of a log jam here, almost like a traffic jam. Too many cars and not enough lanes, if you will. So they get kind of lodged in those tight or curved areas in a river or a stream. So you can guess what happens. The flow is not going to stop. So what happens is some flooding concerns on the back side of that lodged area, if you will. So that can result in some pretty serious flooding, like what you saw in that first graphic up near Humboldt a couple of years ago. Now, I guess a few years ago. There's actually 4 different locations at the National Weather Service. They actually did a study on this. You can find a link to that study in the web article on our website. That are typical location, not typical, but where ice jams really happen more often than other places. So the Des Moines River in Fort Dodge up in Webster County, the Raccoon River out in Jefferson, so out in Greene County and Van Meter, and here in Des Moines. The Iowa River up in Marshalltown, and also the Beaver Creek in New Hartford as well. So it's something to keep in mind of. The spring flood outlook was just updated last week. That does not necessarily directly correlate to ice jams, but somewhat it does say that we are at or just near, or just below the typical risk, if you will, for spring flooding. But of course, flash flooding can change anything like that in an instant. That's all for now from the Local 5 Weather Lab. I'm meteorologist Dave Downey.